Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Piet. You're watching Piet J. Cooper the Model Builder, and we are going on and we're building the Porsche part number 10. Two more boxes to go. No, sorry, we've got this in 24 stages. So we're going on with that build, and I'll show you the magazine in a moment. But for the matter, we are going on with box 10. Is kits 37 to 40. It's a beautiful build and it comes together quite neatly, and I'm really happy with it. I'm going on with that, and I just got the Peugeot part number, I've got it right here, magazine number 27. I don't know which box that is, but let me have a quick look. It's on the ground here. That's box number 24. That was just came in. I had to run down while I was I was just finished filming. That's so true. And IXO, just really great company, doing very detailed builds. I've done the Peugeot, and the engine on that was and the engine bay, all is together with all the hoses that are going through, are unbelievable. Really nice. And I don't know if you can see it, but I've changed my setup a bit. Let me just move you over a bit. I've put all the cars out here. Some of the cars you cannot see because they're hidden by this little thing, but let me just get that out of the way. And that's where you see the DeLorean that I am busy on as well. But furthermore, all the other cars are there. The GT40, Peugeot, Porsche, more of the Peugeot, the fire truck, as you can see on top here, the Roadmaster, and of course the Ecto build. And below, I don't know if you can see that now, let me just get that out of the way again. Below in the corner you see the VW. Samba build, and I'm still doing, and right there in front of the DeLorean we have the kit build, which I have a pack in as well. So that's a little bit of a change up. You don't see my home trainer anymore, or if you look right there in the corner you might see it partly, but you see the where I put my foot on the pedals. I'm really happy with the new setup, and as you can see as well, I've got a darker blind. That helps with a lot with the massive amount of light that's coming from behind me. And as I'm sitting in front with my head, but there's not a lot of light coming through on that side. And I'm looking at you, but I'm looking at my camera as well at the same time. Sorry about that. Just to see how good it is. Right in front of you, magazine number of IOX box 10, stages of kits, in this case 37, 38, 39 and 40. Monter la Porsche. Entrance into the era, a modern era of cars is what we see there. This is the 904, I think. La Carrera, or the Carrera. Porsche Carrera 6 1966 is what you see here, which entered into Sebring and Le Mans in 1966. So they've done quite a bit of it. 37, as you see right here, we've got another screwdriver, which I'm not using because I've got massive hands, and those small screwdrivers, as you can see, do not work for me. And it's more like tweezers, they're too small for me. As you can see right here, this is what we're putting on. There's not a lot to do. We're putting that roll bar on. Some few tips when you put them in. It's you'll see that when I'm putting that in. A lot of BMs going in here, and then just two hoses that we put onto the engine before we put the engine in one of the in 38. One of the sides of the tubular frame that we're putting on, and we're putting on the engine. And as you can see, we're putting in this, I don't know what's in there. It's some kind of filter. that we are putting onto that little tubular frame before we put it on the rest of the tubular frame. And as you can see right there, more BMs here. And then we're putting the engine on, and we're making sure that those two hoses from the engine come through on through two different parts. And then we're bolting the engine to the tubular frame on one side. We're doing the same thing on the other side, and we're making sure that's connected together. We're making this Y-shaped tubular frame of some sort. I don't know what it is. Then we're putting the NDX with all these hoses, and we're screwing the engine to the tubular frame again, and we're putting those two hoses into the ignition chamber on this side. And at lastly, we're making a very long hose for, no, I can't see what that is for, it's in French, so we're putting that on and we're pushing it a certain way into that frame. So have a look at that, and let's get modeling. Stage 37. I had a little of a wobble with it, where we've got this part to put onto those points, and it's pretty hard to get in there because it's hard to get those points into right there. But I found a way. I thought at first I had to be pulling on that one, but we can pull on the whole thing to put that into position. So we're going to start on this side. So we're pushing it down in that, and so we're pushing it down in that, and we're trying to get this hole pinned in with those 2 points, and these points will follow by itself into those points. And there you go, they're in. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 BMs to put in from underneath. So I'm going to get my screwdriver out, and these are BMs, as I said before. And as we're screwing with an M screw, we're putting on a bit of oil. So have a look at that. Those two have to go to the front. And I was so quick to put them in and not even look at that. That anti-roll bar is in. And if you're looking at the front of the car, you should be seeing those little things. And from the back, as you can see right there, this is how it should be mounted. So have a good look at that little thing. It should be flat on the back, and you see some parts on the front that you know. Let me just show you. And this is what it should look like on the front of that little thing. So we're going to put the chassis, the tube chassis, to the side. We're going to get the engine in, and we're going to put pipes on this side. And I don't think there's a difference. These are quite thick pipes, and we're going to put them onto that one and that one. And we're still using the wiggle technique. Might as well loosen that to make it a little bit easier for myself. And as you can see right there, let me put that one back in. As you can see right there, it's neatly in. Now we're going to do the one on that one. We're using the wiggle technique again. And as you can see, right there and there, those pipes are in. And that is stage 37 done. And we're going to start with that one. And forgot that little metal thing as well. And we're using 2 only this time of those metal tubes. And they're going to go on both sides there and there. There we go. That's the one, and I'll show you when both are on. As you can see right there, it's neatly on. And that is neatly in there like so, and this is what we should have. And we're going to put this on that moon-shaped pattern there, like so. So we're going to put that into that point. Does it look too... Oh, it does, but if you push it in further. Push it in thoroughly, right there. All the way through. Is part of it is round and part of it is half round, a half round shape. So we're gonna get the card back in. So I'm gonna move that little card there, and I think we're doing it like this. So make sure that the lights, you're not bouncing them. We're keeping this cable on this side of that cage. And I presume those are the points we're putting on. So we're connecting that one there, that one there, and that one there. And you'll see that in this camera shot, like so. So we've got a, let me get the pointer out. We're connected there, there, and there. And we're going to only put screws in these 2. And they are BM and BM. And we're still going into metal, so we're going to keep putting a little bit of oil on that. Now, I'm going to leave that like that. This is a really hard point to screw in. And I think the screw head is kaput, but as you can see right there, but that's the case. And now it's time for a marriage. And the marriage is that beautiful engine that we made. So we've got, we've got that point will be connected to that. And that one will be connected here somewhere. And these 2 pipes have to go in right here, but one above and one under that point. Yeah. And they do fine like that. So we're putting the screw in right there, but we have to make sure that that screw hole lines up. And that's a pretty hard thing to do at the moment, because I don't want to screw up the lines. That's fine, we can push that backward. And then we're going to this side. And we're going to connect right there, at least that seems, yes, and that's the JM screw. I might need to put something, a little bit of glue in there, but we'll see. And that is the end of stage 38. Neatly in there. So we're going to 39, and 39 we're doing something that we've already done before. We're putting this one in, but can we put this in straight away? Yes, we can. We've got 2 BMs like what we did on the other side, but then we're going to do it on this side. This one went a little bit easier because I probably knew from the other side how that went, but that BM is in there as well. Now let's see what we're doing next. We're putting that to the side a bit, and you can't see a thing if I do that, so be careful when you put those down. We're gonna make that little thing. We're still in 39, and we've got 40 left. We're only on 20 minutes, and they seem to be all the same size, so it doesn't matter. But all 3 pins get one of those metal tubes. As you can see right there, neatly in. Now we're going to put this on the chassis, but let's see how. And am I seeing this right? In that point. But before we do that, we put that one into the leg of the Y. So we've got the 3, and we're putting it. We've got the 3, and we're putting it in that one. Firstly, before we put it in, makes it a little bit easier. That should not be coming out anymore. There we go. Yep, that's in neatly, as you can see right there. And that finishes stage 39, I think. Okay, we've got these parts, as you can see right here on the top camera. And we've got these 2 plastic little thingies. And we're going to probably put a lot of those little things on. So we're going to start with those. And we'll be putting them into, I don't know if you can see that. Like so. The middle-sized pipes, or rubber hoses in this case. And we're going to make sure that those creases, as they arrowed it out, but we're making sure that those are up. And we're going to push them in, and the hoses go over. And we're going to make sure that they're both pointing in, as you can see right there. And we're going to do something later like them with, like so. So this is what we have at the moment. Okay, now we're going to put that to the side. And we're going to get that in. And careful with those LED lights again, still. Like that. So we've got the X, the top, the lower legs of the X right there and in there. And we're going to put screws in those. And we're going to put those 2 onto those 2 pins that are there a little bit later on, but we're going to screw in first. So I'm going to put those there for a moment. And what kind of screws are they? They are IMs. Yeah, we're going to put some more screws in that point because we haven't had connected the JM in this one. Sorry, in that one yet. So we're going to start on this side with an IM in this one. And of course with a little bit of oil on the tip of the screw. The lower of the 2. I'm going to leave it like that. And I think that is the last that we do. No, it's not. Okay. We've got those 2. We've got the F on one side, and the F is the long one. So we're keeping it like so. We're putting the long tube on this side, and yeah, we'll keep it like that. That's the way to do it. Long tube on this side, short tube on that side. And we're putting them right there, and the long tube is going to the front of the car. To the front of the car, I should say. me get my tweezers out. So we do the same thing on the other side. To make it easier on ourselves, we're not putting that in later, we're putting this in, we're pushing this in first. And then we're pushing it onto the Thule frame right there. And that is where we have, and that hose is going right there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is stage 40, and this pack of the Porsche 917KH done. Wow, guys, that was quite some build to do, and the Porsche is down there already, right neat on the plank that over there, and right next to the front part of the Jaguar, as you can see right there. That's the new setup, or at least part of the new setup, with the blinds behind me as well, which are blackening. They don't leave light through, or at least not on in the middle, but on the sides you can see it as a little bit as well. Sorry, there's not a lot of light bleed through that, so that helps me getting a better picture for you. But with that, the Porsche 917KH is done. As you can see right there, we're getting box number 11 next. And I'm enjoying this build very much. It's a really nice car. I love the color scheme. I would love a t-shirt for that, but I couldn't find any. All are coming out of companies that I have to pay a lot of taxes on, so I'm not going to do that. And for that today, I want to say thank you very much for joining me.